Kirstie Alley, fat actress. What do you guys think?
Yes, she is.
The show is just awful. It's absolutely awful. It's getting horrible reviews. The acting stinks. They're kind of doing like a Curb Your Enthusiasm thing, which is so stupid to try to even copy that format.
Yeah.
But you're going to see a bunch of these shows come out now, just like Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Of course. Yeah. One good concept, 50 ripoffs.
So here it is. Kirstie Alley is poking fun at her own weight problems in the new series Fat Actress. We all know that. But members of the National Eating Disorders Association are biting mad at the show. She's fat, making fat jokes. End of story. But there's a group out there pissed off that Kirstie Alley, who's fat, is making fun of her fatness because she has a sense of humor.
Why can't these people organize? If they're going to have an organization, why don't you organize and go to a gym?
Yeah.
Why don't you all get together?
Oh, it's never that, no.
Let's meet at 5 and get on a treadmill for a few minutes.
Wait to hear these clips. The head of the Seattle-based organization isn't seeing the humor in Alley's show and believes it might even be harmful to people with eating disorders. The character appears to be suffering from a binge eating disorder, said Lynn, CEO of the association. That's not funny. She's eating a cigarette so she could clear her stomach. It's appalling. I'm meeting people who lost their children to eating disorders. There's nothing funny about eating disorders. There's just no punchline.
What does CEO mean? The current elephant on duty? Fat cunt. Shut your mouth. I don't know why I said that.
Warning, warning. Oh, C-word alert, C-word alert. Warning, warning.
I don't drop the C-bomb very often.
In the series, which premiered Monday, well, I think this is an older article, Alley is seen gorging herself, overdosing on laxatives, and sticking a feather down her throat so that she could purge without ruining her manicure. Sorry.
There you go.
The association has gotten... Jimmy, where are you going?
To throw up.
Oh. Where's he going? This is perfect for him. The association has gotten calls and emails complaining about the show. Mm-hmm. What's wrong?
I just said, why don't we get one of these? Like, we have an article like this. We should get, like I said, let's try to get one of these people on the phone.
Oh, that would be nice. It would be nice.
Like, but why not? You know, if we're going to do an article on the get the spokespeople, I don't want to come on and give their point of view on a radio show.
They probably would.
All right.
Especially if set up like we were sympathetic to their cause.
The Greg and Anthony show, yes. Yeah. The Tony and Greg show.
The CEO, Lynn, was very pissed off with the feather scene. I guess Kirstie Alley sticks it down her throat.
You should not make light of bulimia and that sort of thing, the purging and binging, Opie. It's a harmful disease.
You know, but why can you make fun of alcoholism and drug addiction and skinny people, but fat people are out of the question? I used to live with an anorexic. She took 60 laxatives a day. I'm not lying. She shit the bed one night when I was sleeping.
Hot.
Dude, I went out with a girl for...
Are you binging and purging over there, Opie? What are you doing?
When I was in college, I went out with her for like a second, man. This girl was knocked down gorgeous. We called her, well, I can't say her name. I shouldn't say her name.
No, sorry.
But we would go to Red Lobster for a really nice meal, and she was rail thin. And she would just...
Red Lobster for a nice meal?
Dude, I was...
Did you put your gold teeth in?
I was 20 years old.
That's where the homeboys go for a nice meal.
What's the matter? You couldn't get a reservation at the Sizzler?
You guys are delusional.
All the sangria.
You guys have changed, man. What? You don't think there's listeners out there thinking that Red Lobster would be a good meal for them?
Yeah, they work 10 hours a day, 6 days a week.
Right. Well, that's what I'm saying. I was 20 years old.
I used to go to the one on Jericho Turnpike all the time.
Dude, I sold I sold my books in college to get, spending money to drink and
go to Red Lobster,
and then to go to a Red Lobster, thinking I was going to get laid at the end of it.
Are you
kidding me?
Things are different
Back in
now.
the day, Red Lobster was that's a good date.
You're right. Nice dessert at Baskin Robbins after it.
Yeah. Now it's the Olive Garden. hot place to take
You guys are just not in touch with the common man anymore.
Dude, we certainly are.
I used to go to Red
bitching
Lobster
and complaining
all
because he has 24 hours to pack for his 10-day cruise. he got the best room available, and he's pissed off that he didn't get the one with the grand piano. He's got like a 2-level suite. And that's his big complaint today, that he's got 24 hours to pack for this unbelievable vacation that he's been looking forward to for 2 years. And I'm trying to share a cute story when I was very poor.
Red Lobster.
And I appreciated the Red Lobster meal when it happened, and today I still appreciate it.
Oh!
There you go.
Today you would never go, no. Yo, give me some more of them shrimp. That's what you got there.
Some catfish.
And to make a long story short, no great ending to the story, but, she would just stuff herself at this one particular time. It happened a few times, but this was the one when I knew.
Yeah.
And she went to the bathroom. She was gone for 15 minutes after we gorged ourselves. And came back, and you just could tell that she was just puking it all up in the bathroom.
I would
Lobster
punch her in
salad.
the fucking face.
You could tell. I could tell in her eye. I mean, you just could tell. And I'm like, what am I getting myself into?
You just watch them push the food around the plate, the anorexics. They don't eat it. They just...
You could tell when you kissed her and tasted scallops and bile.
Well, the back of their teeth are always rotting out.
Yeah,
That stomach acid that's coming up. Their esophaguses are all messed up.
But they're nice bodies on
And
them.
they're always
they
hot.
sure look good. Those titties look really great until they go a little too far. So I encourage you to continue puking for a little while.
Sure.
Did I ever tell you that I lost a chick to John Stamos, too?
Did you?
Yeah.
Really?
That's not bad.
Yeah, I lost
Bad
a
at all.
chick to John Stamos. I was going out with this... she was gorgeous, man.
Do you think he took her to Red Lobster?
Well, what happened was I was doing radio in Rochester, going out with... I mean, she was in a couple magazines. Let's just put it that way. She won some competitions,
Yeah.
and but she was a coke whore. Well, I don't know the whore
Right.
part. Well, I got something, but I didn't have to do the coke
What's
thing.
the but? Where's the problem?
So, I think I found my dream woman, except for the little problem she had.
Yeah.
But she was like a 10, so I was like, you don't notice things.
You look past stuff like coke addiction.
So then she comes down to New York for, I don't know, I'm trying to remember, like a vacation or something.
Yeah.
Ends up hooking up with John Stamos before he was famous.
Oh.
Lost a chick to John Stamos.
Before famous John Stamos?
When he was when he was Blackie
on
soap
General
operas.
Hospital.
Yeah.
Still handsome guy, though.
Used to watch that show years ago. Sure.
Anyway, getting back to
Anything?
this.
Gave me Red Lobster money.
Getting back to this.
Some of that Red Lobster monies.
And yes, her pictures are out there somewhere.
Yeah.
Good luck finding it. Anyway, so Lynn, the CEO of this organization, Anthony, she's pissed off about the feather scene where Kirstie Alley, shoves it down her throat to puke. They're offering advice about purging without ruining your manicure, said Lynn. When I saw that, I thought, oh no, I promise you somebody will try that because people with eating disorders are not thinking clearly.
Apparently not.
Wow.
They can't stop shoving food in their fucking fat faces. They're not thinking clearly.
So then, we got some audio of these organizations bitching about the show. Listen to this one.
Show is insulting to fat people everywhere. I would hope that people would be outraged by this. This is promoting hatred. It's promoting self-hatred and hatred of people that are fat all over the place.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, they should be
And?
Yeah. Point is, what promotes hatred of fat people is a cross-country flight next to one of you. That is what promotes hatred of fat people.
Yeah.
You slovenly gorillas.
People have to understand. If you're fat, you're going to be made fun of.
Yes.
It's just the way it is. That's life. You're going to be made fun of because you're fat. And don't try to pawn it off like she does as a disease. Unless your thyroid is melting down, it's not a disease. There are some people, honestly, but it's such a small percentage of people that are overweight because of some real medical problem.
The disease angle is the same as alcoholism or drug addiction in that it is this mania, this obsession. However, being an alcoholic and an addict, I understand the disease, and there has to come a point where you go, you know what? I'm going to do something for myself. You are still consciously making the decision to do nothing for yourself.
Right.
So while there is a sickness element to it, that is an obsession that is beyond rational thinking, you're still making the decision to not help yourself.
I think,
or to try.
I don't buy the word disease. They should, you know something? It is something.
Right.
I'll say it's something. So give it another word. But to call it a disease is an insult to somebody that has diseases that they can't just cure by themselves. Yeah, if you're like getting radiation shot into your face to get rid of a disease, that's a disease. If you could just put a Twinkie down and you're cured, that ain't a fucking disease. If you could put the booze bottle down and you're cured,
Wow, you're talking to two addicts.
Wow.
I saw them look at each other like.
Well, no,
I saw them look at
else.
each other. I saw them look at each other like, "Wow, you're gonna speak up?" Or
Call
am I
it an
gonna speak up?
affliction. Call it something else than a disease.
My only disagreement is that you're cured once you put the bottle down because you're the same person underneath. But all that said, there still has to be a decision you make as an individual to not engage in that behavior. No one ever poured booze down my throat. No one ever put drugs in Voss.
Right.
You make that decision to
and you
continue
know when
with
you're doing it
yes.
that it's not a good thing
But
that you're
there's
doing, and you should stop.
But there's diseases you can cure, but you can't cure alcoholism or addiction. You're always going to be an alcoholic or an addict, and you're always going to. You can arrest
You're
the
using
disease.
the word cure, though. I don't think that word should be used either.
What,
it's not like that. It's something different than a disease. Alcoholism, drug addiction. I don't see it as a disease.
Well, see, fat people too. They compare it to alcoholism or addiction. Like addiction, like I've given hand jobs for the addiction. Fat people do it for the desperation. They don't do it because they're addicted. You know what I mean? There's a difference.
I wish you.
I just don't see it as a disease.
Did you
something like you say? There's no cure for it because you're always going to have that in your head. But that's why I don't see it as a disease. I see it as some type of, I don't know. Maybe you could call it a mental disorder.
Okay,
something like that.
There is a physical aspect to it, like the American Medical Association, I believe, is. I don't know if they've officially called it a disease.
Alcoholism, they have.
Okay, because like there is a physical thing where if you stop drinking, and I know guys this happened to. I was in rehab with one of them, and you stop drinking for 15 or 20 years, your progression acts as if you never stopped. You don't pick up where you left off. You pick up as if your body had never stopped. So there is some type of a physical thing there, which may all go back to dopamine in the brain. I really don't know what it is. And maybe the semantics of is it disease, is it this? It doesn't matter. It is something.
I don't know. You know what it is, though? You can't make a conscious decision in your head to not get a tumor.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
You can make a conscious decision in your head to not pick up a drink.
Or some people can't. Some people can't make that conscious decision.
Everyone can. I don't want to hear the bullshit. I'm an addict and it's so hard. I can't. I got. You're making a conscious decision. Maybe there's a few people.
Once you're on heroin,
I'll
it's
even
a
give it
physical decision at some point.
I never want to cover everybody. I'm sure there are people that are addicts in their life, but I got to say most know that when they are putting something in their body like drugs or alcohol, that they are doing something bad. They shouldn't do it. It's making their life and their body worse, and if they just didn't do it, they wouldn't be doing it. It's that simple.
It is and it isn't. I agree with you about the decision. You are making a decision whenever you pick up. I mean, the bottom line is this: addicted or not, you still know that there's self-help groups out there, there's rehabs, there's hospitals, there's detoxes. No one in modern society doesn't know that. You are making that conscious decision. Like Lady Di, she's an alcoholic, but you know what? She's making the decision to not help herself.
Right.
But there is something that happens once you pick it up that is just it is beyond. They say obsession. It's like an obsession that like rational thought has no power over it. It's like me. I'm not a victim. But when I'm home on a computer, believe you think I don't know that I shouldn't be jacking you off for 8 hours? Rationally, I'm a smart guy. I know that, and I get into this zone. I'm like, I'm high.
Who is that hurting? That is such a thing.
No. But you know what I'm saying? I'm just saying that same mental obsession, which
right.
is no one's fault. I don't blame anyone. I don't blame other people for my sickness,
You're
but
like
it is
monkey.
there.
Yeah, but
like a monkey.
But fat people are.
I really am like a chimp.
Fat people are rewarded in this country for losing weight. They're rewarded. Oh, look, he lost. You know what I mean? Like, what about when you were gaining the weight and just throwing all that garbage down your mouth? TV shows are giving them prizes to lose weight. And,
well, some of these fat people, they actually they start making themselves believe they don't want to lose weight. And they don't want to be. They stand there and say, "No, I'm proud of who I am," and I walk around. If you don't like it, but you know, deep down, they look at people who aren't fat and want to live life not as an eyesore, walking around. They want to be. Everyone has the want to be normal. You know, where you're not looked at like some kind of freak.
Well, don't you think you're also born with a body type, too? Like, I can't...
To a point.
Sure. I can't get as big as Ralphie May if I ate between now and the time I died.
Really?
Yeah,
You think you could get as fat as Ralphie May?
I think there is something to do with his body type, but I think if you had some massive calorie diet and didn't do exercise... anyone, I think, could get that fat if you just lay on a couch.
Up to the size of Ralphie May. I think you're born with a body type, and then it's up to you to figure out, what you're going to do within that
you're,
body type.
You're cross to bear then. Yeah. If it means you can't have cake and you have to eat maybe vegetables and not, then that's what you have to do. Everyone has the shit you're fed in life. The shit you got to just suck down and eat because that's your lot. That's the hand you were dealt, if I could find another cliche.
You're right. You're right, though.
But that's what you got to deal with. You can make the choice to take that hardship and deal with it, or you can shove the cake and cookies and crap down your mouth until you're a fat slob.
And the fact is, we all had problems growing up. I'm so sick of it. I'm so sick of hearing that
Everyone has their shit.
Everyone had a tough time growing up.
Right.
It's child abuse because kids are force-fed that food when they're little kids. That's the best child abuse when you're feeding a kid that much and that bad.
A lot of times you see a fat kid, you see a fat parent that's feeding them the same crap.
The best was the Snapple lady talking about the reason she is overweight and fat in her adult life is because her parents, when she was 3, decided to have another kid.
Oh, yeah.
That got her so troubled.
Troubled that
she had to get fat.
That's her excuse why she's a fat pig now.
Self-hatred, whatever causes it, is what most of this stuff is based on. You're running away from something. If it's, I have empathy for food addicts because, as an alcoholic, as a drug addict, I can't touch it. I'm fucking ruined if I touch it. But food. It's like if you're that addicted to food, it's really hard because you have to eat to survive.
You have to eat a little bit of it, right?
Food is a really tough one, man. As much as fat groups make me nauseous, I mean there is something to be said for the fact that if I had to do a line of coke every day, and then that's all I could do, I would be a fucking maniac. So I mean there is something
and jerking around the studio,
absolutely,
sweating, hair all a mess,
gossiping pointlessly about stuff, and opening windows in 5-degree weather while I drop a log the size of a Haitian family.
Well, but most anorexic or eating disorders come from dysfunctional alcoholic families where they're trying to take control as kids, because they're not getting that attention. I feel like a doctor. And they do it with food.
You certainly don't sound like one.
Oh, they do it with food.
Let's play another clip from this fat group, okay?
We need to talk about the imagery of women in Hollywood, why it is so easy and okay for us to laugh at a large-sized person, why aren't we seeing more diversity, and to know that bulimia and anorexia and compulsive eating are serious diseases.
We're not seeing diversity in Hollywood because no one wants to watch that crap.
By the way,
Carlin has the best bit on anorexia.
Yeah.
He did it at Live Aid. Or, no, what's it called? Comic Relief?
Yeah.
Because there are all these
Oh, yeah.
Carlin comes out and he goes, what do you say, anorexia? What a disease. Rich cunts don't want to eat? Fuck them. It could be the most brutal moment in comedy I've ever seen. His bit on bulimia, he has a whole bit on, is genius. I'm sure a lot of you have heard it.
Do you think there's, and this point's been brought up plenty of times. I'm not breaking any new ground here, but in impoverished nations, you don't find anorexics or people with bulimia. You don't find it. Where's that disease? Is there a cure over there that we don't know about?
Well, Anthony, they have a low-fat diet.
Oh, is that it?
Yeah. Don't forget, you don't find a lot of coke addiction either in tribes because most of them. But the sickness, see, it's not about the substance. Like alcohol, a food addiction, drug addiction, it's all the same thing. That's all the symptoms. The problem, whatever makes you that, you understand that addict?
Yeah.
That I'm sure they have in those
So in some tribe in Africa, it's an addiction to cutting off women's clits.
Whatever, yeah, absolutely, and using them as jaspers.
Here, one more clip.
Laughing because, oh, ha-ha, it's some fat person, isn't that so funny? Diminishes people.
We're not in our cars eating all the time, and we're not talking about how fat we are all the time. We're strong, empowered, loving, alive human beings.
You're not empowered. You're not strong. You're weak.
You're loving and alive, but you're not strong and empowered. You're absolutely right.
Stop it.
You have to admit. That's the way you start to fight addiction. You have to admit that you're finished and it kicked the shit out of you.
Yeah, there you go. It won.
I can't drink. I can't do it. One and I'm finished. It smashes my fat face every time.
Kicks your ass.
Every time.
Let's go to Carrie in Vegas.
Wonderful booze. Wonderful, strong booze.
Fellas.
Hi, Angel.
Hey, Carrie.
Hey there, Squishy Tits. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. I'm eating some yogurt.
Hey,
I'm a victim.
Being fat is a disease.
Yeah.
How much do you weigh, Carrie? How much do you weigh?
No. It's a muscular disease. Because I have it. My arm muscles keep putting fucking fucking Big Macs in my mouth.
There you go. Very
you need
funny.
to stop putting the fucking Big Macs in your mouth. You'll lose weight. It's a simple thing, and you know, I hate to beat a dead horse, but I can barely hear you guys.
Are you guys doing a gag to us, or is this real?
No, because I called in. Remember, I called in from the cell phone the other day just to hear it myself.
George, what's up?
Monaki, I hate to eat
guys,
a dead
how are
horse.
you? Good morning.
Go ahead, George.
Norton and Voss, you guys should be jumping up and down. I mean, you guys know better than this. Anthony, you are so damn wrong. It's frightening.
All right.
It must be nice to live a life where you don't understand addiction. But for the rest of us that are addicts, whether it's food or drugs, it's something we have to live with every day.
Yeah, but we did explain that to him.
I'm not saying it's nothing. I'm not saying it's anything less than you're saying it is. It absolutely is. I'd be stupid to say it's not. What I'm saying is it is not a disease.
Just like schizophrenia. You don't get, it's just because it's not a tumor doesn't make it a disease.
But, dude, what do you mean we should be jumping up and down? We are explaining. I'm explaining my point of view, my mania for alcohol. I'm not a doctor. I don't know the medical things that go into it. I just know what happens to me. I don't understand.
I got 13 years of sobriety. Jimmy, you probably got a bunch.
I got 18 years.
You know the drill.
Absolutely, but I also understand that what I'm trying to explain, it's hard to explain that the underlying sickness, that the problem, like whether it's booze or drugs or food or gambling, it is all the same. They're all like subheadings under the same illness.
They're a symptom
Absolutely
of you.
Impossible to explain to somebody who does not
Look,
have
no, you've explained it fine. I can understand it. Believe me, sir, I understand. And I agree. I think it's an insult to people with diseases to call it a disease.
It isn't, but why can't you call it a disease?
It's a semantics argument.
It is a semantics argument.
Anthony doesn't feel it's a disease. I know medically it has been classified one, but to me, it doesn't matter either way. That's irrelevant as to what they call it. You understand what I mean? I don't care. Like, some people want to accept that it is, it's okay to me either way. I don't care. I just know I have it. And I know what it does to me.
Well, but the fact that the reason it's called it for some reason too is also for insurance reasons and for rehabs and stuff.
I'm not saying you're wrong about that, but I'm just
I think eating is probably harder to change your behavior than drugs or alcohol.
I agree.
When you go through a day without drugs or alcohol, you have to eat.
That's what I'm saying
being
before.
Able to to change that, Jimmy. Don't take a drink, don't take a drug. I know that, but I can't not eat during the day.
Well, I was just saying that a couple minutes ago. I mean, I do have empathy for people, but as you know, as an addict as well, there is a decision we have to make to go, look, like when I quit smoking, I quit off, like I think what happened in the Opie and Anthony, I had the moment of clarity, and I stopped, and I was going to finish the pack, and Anthony actually said to me, just put the fucking things down. And, dude, it was such disgust in his voice. Well, I said, I'm going to have one more cigarette, which normally doesn't work with an addiction, but I had one more cigarette. I went down to the cellar. I made the decision. Esty helped me. She took me, got the patch. I did the patch program the way it was suggested that I do it, and I had the willingness to quit. So you know what I mean? We have to make that decision.
But also, too, you say you have to eat, but also you could eat right. There's a difference between eating healthy and eating, bunt cakes all day long.
Yeah, see, that's the
argument. You should be able to drink right. But
No. That's not the same argument. Because I know.
I'm with Voss because I see these people in the supermarkets like, okay, you're fat, you need to eat, you have some kind of fucking chemical imbalance, whatever you want to call it, an addiction. But why are you, filling up your cart with enemas?
I've seen.
Because at the end of the day, guys, it's an addiction, and Jimmy.
You're right. You're right.
But hold on. What'd you do? What'd you say, dude? You say what?
You end up, you and I, we all know that, I mean, I suffer from the same kind of addiction, Jimmy, that you do, sitting in front of a computer.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. You replace one with another.
Yeah, substitution.
The biggest problem is you can't really, trying to change addictive behavior takes a lifetime.
No, but wait a second. Didn't you say, but you still have to eat on a daily basis if you're a food addict, right? Obviously, you have to eat. I don't have to drink every day. But if I have to eat, I'm going to make a choice. Do I want to lose weight and eat right, or am I going to take 10 Oreo cookies and put peanut butter on them and then something else? If you're going to have to eat, you might as well eat right, and that's how you're going to lose weight.
Yeah, there's willpower, man.
To
a point. I mean, when you're making conscious decisions to eat nothing but junk and Big Macs and all that, and then hide behind the excuse that you're addicted to food, that's ridiculous.
I can't have a drink. I can't have a drug. If I have one, I'm done.
But now George brought up the point before about you have to eat food, you don't have to do drugs. He said if you have one drink, it's over, but if you eat food, you have to eat every day. Jimmy, you take cold medicine, right?
Not with alcohol.
No, I know, but you do take cold medicine. which is that
like Comtrack or something like a
pill.
pill.
And somebody who's a drug addict, they can take some over-the-counter drugs because they're reasonable people that know what limitations there are. What I'm saying is, it's the same thing with food. You can look at the food and say, I could take a healthy type of food.
Right.
I don't have to binge because I'm an addict. You know, if you're a drug addict, you could still take some over-the-counter drugs and not go into this full-blown relapse.
Well, if you melt it down and shoot it, then that's a problem.
Right.
You're right.
NyQuil by the bottle.
Medication and stuff like that, I mean, that's a very individual thing. And it's like, that's a real tough decision sometimes. Like, when you got to take, very rarely will I ever take a narcotic. Unless I have absolute pain, like if they provide, and I'll always take less than I have to. It's all motives. It's all like, what are my motives? Am I doing this? And you can only lie to yourself. You want to lie to yourself, go ahead. But if I'm taking something because I'm genuinely sick and I'm genuinely in pain, then I can't mess with alcohol cough medicine.
And if they say,
I can't do it.
If they say, you know, the doctor says 1 every 4 hours and you're taking 7 every 4 hours, then you're made a conscious decision to relapse. That's basically.
Well, I see it as some kind of mental disorder or affliction.
That's
not
wrong, dude. You're not wrong.
I don't see it as this physical disease.
It's both. There is a physical combination, too, though.
All right, let's go to Scott in Jersey. Scott.
Yeah, how you doing, guys?
Hey.
Listen, I'm all over what Anthony's got to say. It's just bullshit. You got to make a decision. It's a disease or an addiction, you know? And like Anthony says, you can't tell somebody that's got cancer that I'm fat because I got a disease. It's just bullshit.
Well, dude, I'm not saying even you're wrong. But there are different kinds of diseases. Like, you have to understand, if there's no physical thing, why do people die going through alcohol withdrawals? I mean, why do people shake until they have a first drink? There is a physical element to this sickness. It's not just a bunch of dumbbells who can't say no.
I'm saying there's something physical to it, but it's the alcohol. It's the drug. It's not some enzyme it's not something your body is creating on its own. It's the alcohol and the drugs you put in it and the body's reaction to it detoxing itself. It's what you put in it that's screwing it up, that's making the shakes.
See, that's what we're making the shakes, but what actually causes the mania for the alcohol or the mania or all this stuff goes way beyond the actual substance. And they're actually starting to look. I don't know what it is that makes you physiologically. We don't know that yet. We know tumors, cancer, but look at all the things we don't know about cancer. Why do you get it if you don't smoke? There's a million things about cancer we don't know. A lot of stuff about alcoholism and drug addiction we don't know, but they're starting to think that it's something, a chemical release in the brain. So what if they find out, let's just play devil's advocate, and find out that it is a physical thing that happens that causes you to develop this type of a thing that
it's hereditary.
Develop some kind
it can be, yeah.
Alcoholism's hereditary.
It's what?
It's hereditary.
I heard hereditary.
I said hereditary.
You left the H off hereditary.
It's only a letter. It's only a letter.
All right, Henry Higgins.
You really are an homo.
It's hereditary, Ain't it, Governor?
We got Itch Voss in the studio today. Jesus. I thought I was dead. Oh, my God.
Hereditary.
I at least try to pronounce the letters.
Dumb motherfucker.
Oh, my Lord.
Wow, it's hereditary.
All right, let's go to Brandy.
Well, you're no doctor.
Brandy's from Oklahoma, 5'4", 180 pounds. Brandy.
Yes, hello.
Hi.
Wow, I can hear the fatness through the phone.
Oh, be nice.
She sent an email with gravy on it.
Go ahead, sweetheart, talk.
I guess it's really good I can't hear you.
No, what's okay? It's okay.
I just want to say that last caller was such a douche.
Why?
I agree with Anthony completely.
Ooh.
I've had drinking issues, and I knew to put it down because I was on the road to becoming a horrible alcoholic.
Uh-huh.
I've been fat all my life, but you know what? I know to put the damn Twinkie down sometimes.
Uh-huh.
Not if you're still fat.
Yeah, but not all the time do I put the Twinkie down.
And by the way, knowledge is no defense.
Yeah.
A lot of people, I knew smoking was bad, but I continued to do it. So knowledge is nice to have, but it's not an action.
Do you drink every once in a while, though? Have a wine or something?
No.
Not at all?
Nothing.
Nothing?
I have not drank in probably about 4 to 5 years.
How about marijuana?
Nope. I am a smoker, though, which makes it even worse. It's like I just transfer my addiction, and that's all it is an addiction.
You know, how come the addictions are always for great stuff? Let me tell you something. Smoking rocks, kids. It feels good. It's cool. Don't let them kid you. It does make you look cool. and it's just a fun thing to do with your hand while you're drinking in a bar somewhere. It's very good. Things that make people fat. You don't see these fatties that are my addiction. You don't see them wailing down huge piles of broccoli and red bell peppers. It's always the sweet stuff, the stuff that tastes good. Alcohol, drugs, that shit makes you feel great.
Same with sugar, too. It's that instant.
Yeah,
but
that
kind of comes from what I was saying.
Why isn't anyone addicted to putting a hammer across their face a few times a day?
Well, a lot of people are. A lot of people have amputee sicknesses. They cut their own fingers off. I mean, there's,
They cut themselves, too.
Yeah, absolutely. Cutters.
For the most part, you find a lot of people with these addictions are fat people because they like the taste of cake.
Yeah. But once it goes beyond, and that's where you're right. That's the beauty. That's the beauty of addiction. You got to give it to addiction. It knows what it's doing. It ropes you in with this great shit. But when you're drinking and missing work, when you've lost your wife, when you're gambling and you lose your house, no intelligent person says this. You continue long after the party was over, and that's what the addiction is. That's what the sickness is. It's like, believe me, if I could just fucking drink and have a good time, and I got silly last night, I farted and pointed at someone and laughed. But when I was drinking and cutting myself with a razor and going, what the fuck am I doing? And I'm still drinking. That's the mania. That's the insanity. Nobody wants to drunk drive and kill people, and yet people do it and they continue to drink. It's insanity. It's lunacy.
That's what Beecher was in for in Oz.
Jimmy.
Yeah, I mean, it's like it goes long beyond where the party stops.
All right, Brandy.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that I have recently found the Opie and Anthony diet.
Oh.
And my goal is to lose all the weight I can so I can play What's in My Pants.
That's right. Nice. We make you sick.
The Opie and Anthony diet
I fucking love it.
is you have sex with Jim Norton, and whatever he gives you causes you to lose weight long beyond where you want to.
I love you, Norton. You're
robe not included.
Thank you all. Bye.
Brandy, we hear this feather thing helps, though, as far as, purging out all the food.
That's right.
Yeah, that's what I learned today. For all those fatties out there looking for a new way to lose weight.
Those those people complaining, whatever that organization, how come they don't complain about those shows like Biggest Loser? You're still making fun of fat people trying to,
It's all just a freak show. Freddie B. from Philly, what happened to the phrase bad habit? Remember when it was just a bad habit? Now everyone's got groups and organizations, and they're empowered. And it used to just be, that guy's got a bad habit. You got to kick it. Why don't you kick that habit? God damn, good.
Let's go to Clay in Vegas. Clay. Nah, he hung up. All right.
A bad habit only because there are people that when they're drug addicted enough will suck a cock to get and that goes a little beyond bad habit.
Yeah.
Nobody puts the dick of a stranger in their mouth to fund a bad habit.
That looks like a bad habit over there. My goodness, look what he's doing. Gotta kick that.
You don't need drugs so bad. You're like, all right, come here. All right, thank you for the 20. That's a bad habit.
Jesus.
Picking your nose is a bad habit.
All right.
Picking jism out of it.
Why don't we take a quick break?
All right.
The phones have exploded. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's insane.
It's nuts. It's crazy.
Got a kiss. We got to play a little clip from Jim Norton's Yellow Discipline CD. When's the new CD coming out?
A couple of weeks, man. It's being pressed right now. The booklets are the part that take the longest. You have to staple them together. It's being worked on.
Go to eatabullet.com for info on Jim Norton's latest CD.
Did you ever see my DVD yet? Have you looked at the DVD?
I only saw the cover. It was great. I heard it was very funny.
At richvoss.com, you've seen it?
No, I haven't gone to richvoss.com in a long time, but I hear it's a very good site.
I'm going to sell it this week in Cleveland at the Improv.
Oh,
probably at the Improv.
There you go. Rich Voss in studio. Or Itch Voss.
Itch Voss.
Itch Voss.
You're doing the Improv?
in Cleveland.
That's fucking hereditary. Don't ever try to counsel somebody again. Just point at yourself and go, I'm doing okay. That's what you do. This is how you know Voss is about to say something stupid, because I wish you guys could see. But he does this thing where he puts his hands out and he gets like stiff, and his head nods and he makes eye contact.
Oh, yeah.
And he's gearing up, and you're like, oh, boy, here comes a fucking blunder. Because it's not that Voss is dumb. It's just that he gets so... It's like when he has the floor and he's about to have an intelligent thought, he just panics, and it just doesn't come out like he means it to.
Something happens from the brain to the mouth, and it just
I don't know if it's a disease
it's
or a bad habit.
Voss is smart. In front of the mirror, he's had these conversations. I'm telling you, addiction is and he's a genius in front of that mirror. But as soon as there's another person, that steam just comes out, and
he should win the Nobel Peace Prize.
Colin always says about Voss that it's rare that somebody who's so dumb is so funny. You never see that combination. That Voss is so quick. You couldn't be dumb to be that fast.
That's true. That's funny.
I was eating a banana before, and Voss goes, "You want me to put that through a hole in the wall?" Which I didn't care for. However, it was very funny.
It was very hurtful.
Yeah, it was very wounding.
Here's Norton from Yellow Discipline.
Just can't stand this phony niceness. That's why I like Southwest Airlines. The only airline I really support emotionally. Ever since they booted those big fat people off the plane. Yeah, good for them. I'm not talking, these are not people. I'm not saying that somebody that's 300, 325. It's America. We eat good. I overindulge. We all do. You ever see somebody so fat it makes you angry? Like you want to grab them by their 12 XL shirt. How did you get so fat? And I'm talking in the area of 700, 750. You know, like you ever see somebody so fat they sit on the couch, their legs stick straight out? If you have legs like baby arms, change your eating habits. And of course, we're such a pathetic, litigious society. You know, you sue for everything now. They're suing the airlines. You know, we don't think we should have to pay for 2 seats. Yeah, well, I don't think I should be uncomfortable because you're repressing childhood rape memories with pure fat and carbohydrates. You don't want to pay for 2 seats? Fine. Hire a horse trailer to pull you to your destination. Then hang your fat jowls out the back and chew oats for 3,200 miles, you monster with no willpower. You're a good crowd, man.